What is up, my little babies? So today we are going to be looking through the questions and the comments that you all have given me on my 3 or 4 previous YouTube videos. So we're just going to jump right into it. So first question
is from LWL, and their first question they have says, how long did it take you on testosterone to pass most, if not all of the time?
Okay, so on testosterone, before testosterone, I already pretty much just would probably say I passed. It would just be like the voice that wouldn't have passed for me specifically. I would say it took me till about 3 months on testosterone until I stopped going in the women's restroom and then started using the men's. That's when I really realized that I passed. When I went in the women's restroom and I got like weird looks was when I stopped using that restroom and went to the next one. But the thing about testosterone is that it's different for everybody. The length that it took me to pass may not be the same for you. It's all different. The dosages are all different. Your body will react differently to it. So I can't just give you like a general time range where you will be able to pass in public. That's just something that comes along with the journey of it. Next question.
Same person.
Okay.
How long have you been with your girlfriend?
I'm with my girlfriend, so today actually makes our 5-month anniversary. She's been here for about 7 months living with me, but I asked her out for 5 months. Been in love with her for 3 years, so...
My whole best friend.
Yeah.
Their third question, also really good, is it hard to look back at old photos, or do you enjoy seeing how far that you've come?
So, yes and yes. So, it is definitely very difficult to, more so videos for me than pictures. Like pictures, I can look back and be like, whatever, like I get that. That shows me a lot of growth through my pictures, but I cannot stand to hear myself talk before I transitioned. Like my voice even changed before I started taking tea from when I was 16 to when I was 18 or 19. But hearing my voice before transitioning really puts me in a bad headspace. The pictures, not as much, but hearing my voice really messes me up. So it does make me super dysphoric.
Grace Brintal. Brintinol. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. What was it like being trans in the military? Did you keep it mostly a secret during that time? And stay with women? How did that work?
Okay, so when I was in the military was when I first decided that this was something that I wanted to do. So when I got stationed at my first base, I actually went and talked to mental health about it. Before I did that, I brought it up to my my supervisor. He was super chill. He was really cool. I knew I could talk to him about it. We talked about it, and then I was like, hey, I'm gonna make a mental health appointment. And I did, and that was when I got diagnosed with gender dysphoria. The captain that I talked to that was over those things was amazing. He was super helpful. I'm pretty positive he was gay. He seemed like he was really gay. So he was really understanding about it. And that was before anything that was going on in the military with trans men and stuff like that. That was before that. So I didn't tell a lot of people then because I didn't know when I was going to be able to get on testosterone because everything in the military is so slow. They don't work quickly. Nothing in the military works quickly. So I'd only came out to my supervision and the people above my supervision that were in my flight that I was in. So really the only people that knew were my friends that I was close to, and then supervision because they were working on that. I never got on testosterone while I was in there. It was taking too long. I ended up just getting out of the military before that happened. When it comes to my sexuality, I mostly stayed with girls anyway, so that didn't change.
All right. Ninsen from Poland said, do you have any advice for someone who doesn't know what their sexual orientation is?
If you don't know what you like, just experiment with it. That's literally the only way that you're going to be able to figure out what you like. It literally took me one time with a female to be like, yep, that's what I like. And then as I got older, I was like, I know I like this, but what if that was something that I was interested in, and then it wasn't. So just experimenting is the biggest thing because there's nothing wrong with trying to figure out what you like, either sexually or romantically, because I know for a fact I cannot romantically connect to a male. It just doesn't work for me. I just can't connect to a man that way. Will never happen for me. So that's just experiment. That's all it is.
Ryan Alexander Marson Gill said he is an F to M myself, and he's been out for a little over a year.
Mm-hmm.
They've been dealing with dead naming, and a couple of their friends have said they just don't care about their preferred name or their pronouns. They completely ignore it even after they correct it. It really hurts their feelings. Have you ever dealt with dead naming? And if so, how did you cope with it? What did you do for it?
Okay, so point blank period, if they are your friends and they're dead naming you, they're not your friends, and cut them out. You don't need them. They're not important. They're not relevant. I don't care if you've known them for 15, 20, fucking 30 years. They're not your friend. If they can't just respect the fact that you are transitioning or wanting to transition and simply pronoun you correctly or say your correct name, then they don't care about you. So you shouldn't have somebody in your life that isn't like giving you any kind of effort, because it's not hard. Like, people around you that genuinely care about you will work on that. Family's a little bit different. Family was harder. Like, with that, they still dead name me, they still dead pronoun me. I deal with it because they're family, where I'm like, I don't have to be around them all the time. I don't really got to worry about it. And then when I'm with M's fam, they don't like know. So like, it's really easy with them. So like, they just go by what they know. And then people that I meet in the future, they don't have to know unless I want to tell them. And even then, most people will respect that. So if your friends are causing you that much drama, they don't need to be in your life. You will have situations where you have to deal with it. Like I said, family, for instance, is one of those big things. But surround yourself with people who want to like be there and support you. Like, I know that my girlfriend and my roommate are like my like biggest supporters right now with shit like that. So like, you'll just have to surround yourself with people who want you to be you.
Good answer. Straw Sparrow says, when you are not out yet and are gender fluid, how do you feel comfortable when gender shifting? It is really weird. And also, if you read this out loud, please use they, them.
I had a friend, and this is the only way that I know how to put this, because like, I really never dealt with that very much. But my friend, when they felt more masculine, they would wear like a bracelet that was like green or blue. And then when they felt more feminine, they wear one that was like pink or like feminine colors. And that was to try to help their friends know what their pronouns they would want their pronouns to be that day, or like how they were feeling. And I know that helped them a lot, like the color schemes. Just also like, you know, just dressing the way you want can really help with that. Short hair is still like a really good way to be able to be gender neutral, because you can have it like, there are certain styles that like are more feminine, and there's certain styles that are more like masculine that you can do as well if you're gender shifting. So a haircut, bracelets are like just like colors that identify like the gender that you're feeling that day could help, but that's the only thing I really know about with those.
So Ashley Catherine wants to know, how did you do it? How did you come out to your family as trans, and how has your relationship with your mom and other family members changed since you have come out?
So, like I said, that's also a spectrum. Like, your family could either be like super supportive or super not supportive. My biggest thing on coming out to your family is, if you do not have to do it and you're not in a safe place to do it, don't. You don't have to. There's no reason for you to have to come out to anybody. If you are living, you know, like you don't live with your parents anymore, you can completely financially care for yourself and you want to, yeah, then do it. How I specifically did it, I was in the military, so I was financially supporting myself. I didn't have anybody to worry about. And I was just finally like, you know, I just want to tell my mom. So I did. I was just like, hey, I think the last time that I told her was when I was living up here, though, because like I kind of went back and forth on it for a little while. But I sent her like a meme. I literally sent her like a trans meme. And I was like, hey, that's me. And then we just had a conversation about it. And there's no right or wrong way about going about it. I just suggest highly that if you are worried already about how they're going to react, to make sure that you can support yourself, because there will be people that get kicked out, or, you know, their family like despises them or disowns them. So like, if you're young and you don't, you know, and you have to put up with your family and they could potentially react very negatively, I just wouldn't suggest coming out at all. I just would not. Like, that's just not something me personally, like if I didn't have to, and back in the day I wouldn't have, I would have waited. eventually some parents will come around, eventually some won't. My mom is supportive of me as a person. She doesn't like that I'm transitioning. She does not want to call me by my correct pronouns or name, but she's not super negative, nor she doesn't like hate me, or she's not mean to me or anything about it. She just doesn't support it. And that's like goes with the rest of my family. They don't like, my brother doesn't really care, but he's not making an effort to care. And that just, like, the whole family's kind of like that. So it is what it is.
Ricky Luciano said, when you started testosterone, did it make you have more acne or having skin problems?
Yes. So, I had never had acne before at all. I went through, one puberty, nothing happens. And then, like, I would get like a couple breakouts here and there. No, like my face, just like, you can see it on camera, like my face will just get broken out now, like all the fucking time. And it has been that way since I started testosterone. It's a puberty thing. Hopefully it'll go away. Fingers crossed, because I'm over it. But yeah, it does cause acne.
Content Dragon Girl said, so I go back and forth between the genders. One day I'm super feminine, and the next I'm super masculine. And then I'm pretty neutral. I go from loving my body and then hating it. And 30% of the time, I love my body, and 70% of the time, I absolutely hate it. Is this normal?
Yes. Like, technically anything that you're feeling is normal. I mean, like, more than likely 9 times out of 10, 20 million other people are feeling the same fucking thing. Like, so, but I feel like I have a question for you, because I need to know more on this, because you said that you go from, like, masculine to feminine, which is, there's nothing wrong with that, but, like, you also, that you go from, like, loving yourself to hating yourself. So which one makes you hate yourself? Because if there's, like, a time where, like, you're not feeling like you hate yourself because you feel more feminine, like you don't feel like you're actually feminine, like that would be, like, probably something you need to figure out when it comes to which one are you hating. I go back and forth from, like, hating myself and loving myself too. Like, I feel you. Like, I'm a cocky piece of shit most of the time, where I'm like, damn, you look good. And then other times I'm like, God, you are hideous. Just go hide under a rock. I mean, it's normal. You can not like yourself all the time. Like, that's okay. It's completely normal. But you'd have to figure out what's making you feel that way.
And the last question, the final question.
Yes. This is a long video.
CJD said, what is your opinion on the trans military ban?
Can I say this quickly?
I don't know.
Fuck Trump. That's my fucking... Nah, dude. I've had literally, like... Because I was in the military. So I've had people that were my friends that were still in when I got out that could no longer start testosterone. When I was in, I could have been able to. And then when they came out later on, he, like, decided to ban them. There's no fucking, under any holy circumstance, I don't care, like, if you're, like, a Bible thumper to the core, that you can look at me and be like, because you're trans, you shouldn't serve your country. Shouldn't you want me to die for you, bitch? Like, what you want? Like, no, get out of my face. It just doesn't make sense. Anybody that's willing to, because, like, it's 2% of the population is willing to be in the military, okay? So why would you try to cut that back by saying that, hey, well, you either can't join or you have to, like, live in the body that you were assigned? Because no one's going to fucking do that. If I'm trans and you're like, hey, you can't come in the military, or hey, if you come in the military, we're going to make sure that you're a female, I'm going to be like, well, fuck you then, I ain't fucking doing it. Like, there's no reason why somebody who wants to join the military shouldn't be allowed. If you are physically able to do it and you want to join the military, there should be nothing fucking telling you that you can't. There should be nothing stopping you from that. That is something that only 2% of the people in America, like, actually do. So, and we learned that Air Force is 1% of the population. So, either way, fuck Trump. That's my input on that. So I'm gonna leave you with a song, and you all drop your song comments below. My song I'm gonna leave you with is, sorry, I have to read it. How can I rest in peace if I'm buried? Buried.
It's definitely buried.
How can I rest in peace if I'm buried by the highway by Kenny Hoopla. That's the song I'm leaving you all with. But all right, so peace out, Girl Scout. Catch you on the flip side.